preacher got this baby. You don't have to do it. And then Ronnie James the first walked in my office, didn't give me time to write that sermon. So thank you, Ronnie James. You kept me on track. God used you to keep me on track. We started a sermon series at the beginning of the month called Proud of This Shameful Thing. The sad reality is that far too many Christians boast and take pride in stuff that we ought to be ashamed of. So we started going through this series. We started in part one, talking about how we are so braggadocious about being busy. Everybody says, I'm so busy, I ain't got time for it. We call that sermon, Sit Yourself Down. I knew I was on to something that week because I got text messages and emails like, Pastor, I'm going to sit myself down. Some people I was like, you've been sitting down. But then what I don't like is when y'all try to use my word against me and be like, Pastor, I hope you sitting yourself down somewhere. Mind your business. In part two, we took it a step further because I'm tired of seeing drunk Christians. We call that sermon, Blame It on the Alcohol. Some of you missed church intentionally. The devil didn't want you to get that word. But it's on Facebook. Go back and watch it. All of it. Last week I was out. I want to thank God for Minister Bars and Minister Hunt for carrying on the preaching. And I want to, in front of the church fellowship, also thank God for the worship team for traveling with us last week. All the way to Lubbock, Texas, 6 hours. Minister Bowie was driving too. Every now and then I say, you got to keep it between the lines, Doc. No, he did real well. Like I went to sleep a couple of times and we're going to get real messy today. Genesis chapter 16. What a Christmas gift. Genesis chapter 16. To all of you who are guests, I thank God for you. I know things have been a little different. This is not your traditional church, but we like our church. Amen. And we hope that you are blessed by your time with us. Anybody in town visiting your relatives? You're in town for Christmas? God bless you. Welcome. Boy, you left here. He said, well, I'm back home. Any college students back home? Raise your hand. Thank God. Anybody got children that you didn't have when you left? All right. Amen. To God be the glory. I'm still pastor. I'm trying to make sure we all right. You know, sometimes people go to college. It's hard to be Christian in college. Look, what you shaking your head for? Yeah, look down your road, D. She like, it sure is. Woo! Genesis chapter 16, I'm going to start reading at verse 1. That's not on the slide, I don't believe. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, bore him no children. And she had an Egyptian slave girl whose name was Hagar. Sarah said to Abram, you see that the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go in to my slave girl. It may be that I shall obtain children by her. And Abraham listened to the voice of Sarai. Y'all all right? I was like, this is not Christmas at all. So, after Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, Sarai, Abram's wife, took the Egyptian, her slave girl, and gave her to her husband, Abram, as a wife. And he went in to Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, she looked with contempt on her mistress. Then Sarai said to Abram, may the wrong done to me be on you. I gave my slave girl to your embrace, and when she saw that she had conceived, she looked on me with contempt. May the Lord judge between you and me. But Abram said to Sarai, your slave girl is in your power. Do to her as you please. Then Sarai dealt harshly with her, and she ran away from her. The angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, the spring on the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, slave girl of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going? She said, I am running away from my mistress Sarai. The angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit to her. The angel of the Lord also said to her, I will so greatly multiply your offspring that they cannot be counted for multitude. This is Proud of This Shameful Thing, Part 3. I want to talk from the thought, proud to be petty. Proud to be. Let's see what happens. In recent times, pettiness has become a celebrated thing. If you watch TV, you will discover that people will boast and brag about being petty. Don't come for me. Yeah, I know I'm petty. I said in part 1, even people have come up with these clever little names, call themselves Petty LaBelle. Before now, being petty was something that was frowned upon and discouraged. You remember when somebody said you were being petty, you was insulted. Don't talk to me like that. I'm not petty, I just don't like this. Petty behavior was something that was not to be tolerated, definitely not something that was to be celebrated. Let's look at what the definition of petty is. Number 1 definition, according to Webster's dictionary, is not very important or serious. That's the number 1 definition of petty. So when you celebrate your pettiness, you are literally saying, I'm not very important or serious. Let's not waste time arguing over petty things, insignificant, small things that don't really matter. Another definition for petty has to do with committing crimes that are not very serious. Petty crimes. Some of you are not big criminals, but you are petty criminals. There's nothing more humbling than having to go to court over a traffic ticket and you see that it says you're in criminal court and you be like, I was just speeding. I didn't know that made me a criminal. While I was leaving Big T's Bazaar in Dallas Plaza yesterday, I had a revelation. And I just love our people. Because our people will smoke weed in public like it's legal. I don't smoke. I don't know what you say. Yeah, Pastor Ray, I do or something like. I'm not saying that I smoke. I just love the gumption of our people that we'll do wrong and then get mad at somebody for telling us we wrong. You speeding, the cop is a hater for pulling you over. You hide your mind. You ever went somewhere in public and it just, the stench of the weed just hit you in the face? Oh. You said that ain't no real crime. That's petty. That's petty. It was just a small bag. A dime bag. Treating people harshly and unfairly because of things that are not very important. Now, the whole idea of this sermon series is to get us to grow up and out of some of the stuff that we do and are proud of. And if I were to poll the room, there are probably about 70 of you that would say, sometimes I'm just petty. I'm petty with my family, petty with my friends, I'm petty on my job. What does petty look like? It look like somebody got a promotion and you feel like you're a better worker than them. They got the promotion. Now, they not the boss. They didn't promote themselves. Somebody else did. But you mad at them. You disrespected them. You walk by, just knock all their papers on the floor. That would make you petty. You mad at your husband. And y'all in the bed and you snatching all the covers and rolling up in it. You can make yourself a tamale. That's just... Let's just pay. If you've been a parent long enough, you know that children can make you pay. When they done got on your nerves, and you get mad, and you ain't gonna feed them, ain't got nobody else to hit it up but decide you ain't eating today. That's pay. That will make you real. And my girl, she a little seasoned too. Now you know how we say women are like wine, they get better with time. They may get better. But you reach a point where certain things don't function the way they were created. The battery life of some things is diminished. Here it is. And so the Bible says they reach this point where they're trying to believe God for a promise, but God is delayed in his delivery. Now there's a word for somebody in the room right now, that God has spoken some things in your life, but you're tired of waiting on it. What do you do in that season between the time where God made you a promise and then you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and not only has he not delivered on his promise, but friends, it looks like the time clock on his ability to work it out has run. I wish I had 5 people in the room that know what it's like to be mad because God, you promised me. And I went out and I bought It's a Boy t-shirts. I went out and I told everybody what you were going to do. But here I am a decade later, and you have not made good on your promise. Listen. This family is in a very interesting predicament because they have a promise from God, but God is not producing. Sarah, Abraham's wife, says, Abraham, maybe God needs our help. And obviously, we've been doing what we're supposed to do. We don't do it as much. Y'all slow. But we do it. And ain't nothing happening. I've been taking prenatal vitamins and looking for my little calendar to see the best time of the month when I'm ovulating. Come on. Walk the text with me. And nothing is happening. Maybe God needs our help. Take Hagar and do to her what you've been doing to me. It's all right. Because we got to get this baby that God promised us. Abraham said, cool. I mean, you sure like this, because I know you be playing sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it. Because I believe in God, God can make a way out of no way. And the Bible says Abram takes Hagar as his wife. They consummate. Hagar, no problem, gets pregnant. What do you do when the folks around you who seem to be doing it the wrong way keep getting pregnant? I ain't just talking about with children, I'm talking about with favor, with blessing. What do you do when the Hagars in life seem to always be anointed, always be blessed, and then those who have been faithful along for the ride for a long time, waiting on God to show up and show out, it seems like you keep on shaking the stick and it's negative. I wish I had some real people in the room that will declare that you know what it's like to get frustrated with God, because it seems like other women always got a man and you can't find a man. Is there anybody in the room that know people that get fired from one job for stealing boxes and they got a new job the next day and you've been unemployed for half a year? God, what are you doing? She walking around, look, young.